The days of bringing a ton of documents to your green card interview are over. Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States at our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and Chicago, Illinois. In today's video, we're talking about that marriage interview. We're talking about the evidence that you want to bring to get your case approved. Now, in any marriage-based green card case, you want to make sure that at the time of filing, you submit as much marriage evidence as you possibly can. So if you know that you're applying for a green card based on marriage, it's your burden to demonstrate that your marriage is real, that it's legit, that it wasn't just entered into to obtain an immigration purpose, but rather because you and your spouse want to be together and to live in the United States for the rest of your lives. So when you submit the initial case, you want to overwhelm them with evidence so that they know that you are serious about getting a green card and that your marriage is real. But what are we going to do with the time between when you file and when you get your green card interview? And historically, I've been a big proponent of overwhelming them again with more evidence. So of course, you don't ever want to bring evidence that you have already submitted, but you do want to bring them new evidence. And historically, I've always asked my clients to come in with a big old shopping bag full of documents, well organized, that sort of lay out the finances, the relationship, the travel, the logistics of the family, and sort of demonstrate that it's really a real marriage, and sort of dump that with a big thud right on the officer's desk. But I think those days are coming to an end. Based on the last year or year and a half of interviews that I've attended and attorneys in our office have attended, and even people on our Immigration Answers show have called to tell me about, I don't think officers are that keen on getting those documents from you anymore at the interview. And the reason for this is because of their scanner. They always have a scanner sitting next to them. And if you bring a lot of extra evidence, they have to scan all that stuff in. And that really slows things down immigration-wise when you're talking about getting that stuff into the system. So if you are trying to impress the officer, you're going to make their lives a whole lot more easy if you simply upload all those documents before the interview. And so I think a good rule of thumb is by the time you get your interview notice and the time you have your actual interview, that's going to be about 5 weeks. And when you have those 5 weeks, you should gather more marriage evidence, more bank statements, more financial statements, more trips, any other evidence that you have gotten from your life together over the last 5 weeks. You just don't have to bring that to the interview. Instead, you scan it in yourself. That might mean you have to go to FedEx. You might have a scanner at home. Don't do crooked pictures and all that stuff. Actually scan the stuff in and upload it to your portal about 4 or 5 days before the interview. That way it'll be sitting there for the officer. They can see your updated evidence. Now, with your original identity documents, you're going to have to bring those to your interview. You definitely want to bring those because you have to show them so that they know that they're real. But for things that are simple like life insurance policies, next of kin notification at work, those kinds of things, you want to definitely make sure that you upload that. And there's a lot of good reasons for that. Number one, it makes life easier on the officer, and they're going to know that they don't want to spend all that time doing that. You're just going to make it a whole lot easier for them. Number two, if the officer is scanning in documents, that means they're going to be talking to you about your case while they're scanning. And a lot of times the scanner doesn't work. Sometimes you have to get a supervisor. It's always a big old mess, the scanning itself, the technology of the scanning itself, but also the time that you're spending with the officer means that you're not going to be able to just be quiet. You're going to have to answer more and more questions. So it just makes your interview longer, makes it more complicated, makes it messier. So you're going to be much better off uploading the documents ahead of time. Bring them with you if you need them, but don't necessarily just drop them on their desk. Just say, hey, look, we uploaded this to the portal. We checked last night. It's all in there. So please review those documents here. I have copies here with me if you feel like you need them, and we'd be really happy to go over them with you or talk about anything in there. So if you're thinking about applying for a marriage-based green card and you want to get our marriage evidence list, you can just email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com and say marriage evidence list, and we'll be happy to send it to you. If not, and you're just looking to hire us, feel free to give us a call at 314-961-8200. Email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com if you want to talk about working with us. If you're just looking for free resources, we have a ton of them. Join our Facebook group @Immigrant Home. You can also talk to us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Whenever we post a new video, if you turn on the alerts, you'll get alerted to that. And you can also come on my Immigration Answer Show and ask me any immigration questions that you want. I do that 3 or 4 times a week as a service to the community. We'd love to have you join us there. And then finally on TikTok at Immigration Hacking. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.